Holocaust is the most vicious and bestial Holocaust, most bloody Holocaust ever recorded in the annals of time. But you want to deny us because you owe us reparations and you don't want to pay up today. The so-called Jew Holocaust. And I say so-called Jew because he's not a real Jew. He's a Johnny-come-lately Jew who just crawled out of the caves and hills of Europe just a few days ago. So you're not even a real Jew, buddy. Brother Jackson Bay is a Holocaust victim. Minister Sean is a Holocaust victim. God damn it, I'm looking at a whole audience full of Holocaust victims. All of you, you and you and you and you and you, all of you are Holocaust victims. This is the slave theater. Well, why does Brother Alton Maddox leave the name slave on it? Because, God damn it, we're still in the land of our bondage. We're still in the land of captivity. We're still a slave to the Democratic Party, still a slave to the Republican Party. You can't even see a Freedom Party. You don't see it. You're a slave. I'm a slave. And unless we admit that we are slaves, then we can never get free. Never get free. The first thing a slave must do is admit I'm in bondage. Admit I'm in captivity. Admit that I'm a slave and Giuliani is a slave master. Admit that I'm a slave and Clinton is a slave master. Admit that I'm a slave and Cuomo is a slave master. That's the only way you can get free. You can't wait to get out of here and get a good night's sleep so you can go to your elevator plantation tomorrow. You're a slave. You're a slave to your car note. You're a slave to your rent. You're a slave to your lease. You're a slave to your telephone bill. You're a slave to your light bill, your gas bill. You're a slave. God damn it, this is the slave theater, and all the radical slaves come here. The Nat Turner slaves come here. The Harriet Tubman slaves come here. The Denmark Vesey slaves come here. This is the slave theater. I believe in separation and independence. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed to say that I am a separatist. I have a right to be a separatist. I have a right to want freedom and independence. I have a right to want not a party of my own, but a nation of my own. I'm a separatist. I want a flag of my own. I want some land of my own. I want our own rules, our own regulations. They have searched and searched, but cannot find the origin of the black man. The one power and force behind the universe. The white man ain't never had to teach us nothing about no God. You go to one part of Africa and we call him Nakumpo. You go to another part of Africa, we call him Umbelingo. You go to another part of Africa, we call him Unkulunkulu. What we call him? Say it again. Let me hear you say it one more time. Nakumpo, Umbelingo, Unkulunkulu. In another part of Africa, we call him Shango. In another part, we call him Oshun, Ogun, Ilegba, Babaluaye, Oludumare, Obatula. Another part of Africa, we called him Ptah, Ileda, who is the feminine representation of that one God. Because we never had a hang-up in Africa. The God and the goddess always go together. You don't have no balance unless you have the two of them working together for the balance and harmony of the universe. There is no mystery God. Absolutely no mystery God. There is no God in the sky, and there is no devil under the ground. Heaven is not in the sky, and hell is not under the ground. Heaven and hell are conditions of the mind, states of existence and states of being. the kingdom of heaven is within you, and that we are the temples of the living God. That the living God lives in our temple, and he does not inhabit the sky, but he inhabits the higher realms of the heavens, of the realm of the secret innermost chambers of the subconscious chamber of the soul of man and woman. And this power bursts forth and emanates forth from him to set in motion a universal order based on principle and law. All of this set in motion by a divine power and a divine force that never dies. It's constant. It just changes form. God is in man. The black man must pull the black nation together. The black woman has been patient. She has pulled the plow. She has had our babies in the field. She has been forced to do things that she has not wanted to do to protect me and to protect you. Now it is time that the black man make his stand.